Hi, it's Kristen from Pratt Scraps, and I am doing day 5 of my December daily. Slowly but surely, I am catching up. I ended up not using very much of my Wild Hair Kit Club for this particular day, which is why I didn't tag it. I thought the star paper came in my kit, but then I looked back and it didn't. But the Chamel paper with the gold foil stars, it did come in the kit. But that's about all that I ended up using from the kit this time, and the reason is on this day we ended up going to a planetarium and watching a story of the Christmas star and the mystery of the Christmas star, I think is what it was called. So anyway, I really wanted to use a star paper. I knew that right off the bat when I got it, that this is what I would be using it for. But I had placed an order with paper issues before, when I was getting my December daily stuff together, so I knew I had it. And this piece of paper was something they handed out at the planetarium, and it kind of gives you a map of the stars, and he went into great detail about if you're facing this direction, you can see these at this time of year and these constellations, and so it was very informative. I was surprised my 8-year-old didn't fall asleep during it. It was kind of a little bit dry and boring, but no, it was neat. I think it's very cool that in a middle school that there's a planetarium. I mean, we don't live in a very, wealthy community or anything like that. It's not poor, tiny, but it's not super wealthy, I don't think. There's portions of it, I'm sure, that I know that are, but anyway, I just was surprised that something like this existed in this relatively small town that I live in. So anyway, it was very cool, and I didn't want to cover up all of that handout that we got. So I ended up using a clear acetate tag that I've had in my collection for a billion years, and I ended up using that as my flip because I didn't want to cover up all of that with pictures and journaling and that kind of stuff. And I wanted to use some of this paper because it had stars on it for my backing the papers. I sadly forgot my little Creative Memories trimmer at my daycare house over this weekend. And we are going to go shopping today, so I may have to swing by and grab it because I really want to catch up on my December daily these few days that I have off. And I really, really like to use that cutter when I trim small things. The Caterpillar works fine. I just prefer using that. I cut out a little star. It's a little glary from the shiny foil, but use that to be as my little handle for flipping that card. I had to decide which washi tape. I didn't want something too, I don't know. In hindsight, I should have used this red and green snowflakey type star looking because I forgot that I'm going to have to incorporate my number onto this page, and I wanted to stick with my theme of using those wrappers from the Countdown to Christmas books that the kids have, and those are all red and green. I have absolutely no red or green on this paper anywhere, so I kind of skirt the requirement. It's not really a requirement, but I end up using it in a way. But I should have put a little more, and I may go back in and put a little bit of red and green washi tape on top of that grayish snowflakey type washi. So there we are. I just took a selfie waiting in line to get into the planetarium. The other 2 pictures are actually pictures of the ceiling in the planetarium. I thought there's a message at the end that said, "Peace on earth, goodwill towards men," and then the bottom one is just a picture of the stars. So I'm using some scrap, this leftover little chunk of that star strip that I cut, to put behind my picture. Kind of like to use my scraps up. I like to lift a little border of the Chamel because it matched that cream colored paper with the gold stars. It kind of matched, the stars were cream colored. it's a star paper from Webster's Pages. And then I decided to do the journaling on the back of this little star scrap, and I can't spell, so I have to start over. Planetarium. What? That's not a hard word, but for me, I just second guess myself all the time. But I get it right. So I'm just saying that it was a neat experience to be able to see this. My older daughters are in middle school, so they have been to the planetarium as part of their classes, but my youngest and myself have never been there before. So it was neat. This page looks fairly plain, but, you know. Okay, here's where I decide, where am I going to put this silly bright red? And I have a pink jack. I mean, it doesn't match at all. So I combine a piece, take the green one from a different day, dig through my, this is how I store my punches. It's just what works for me. And I decide there's little stars on each of these. So I take this little tiny puncher and just get the stars out. Some red, some green. And I punch them all out. I find the number 5. I use this pretty, it's like almost like a chipboard, but it has that cream color, and then it's outlined in gold glitter. And then I put these stars around. Use my little picker-upper tool. I never had one of these. My friend that owned the scrapbook store, Nicole, she told me about it, and I never got one and never got one. And finally, I don't even know, a few months ago, I picked one up, and I'm like, why? How have I not had this? For putting sequins on and these little tiny things like this, it's awesome. So listen to your friends. If they recommend something, do it. And I'm just kidding, if you can. Excuse me. Alright, so then I have to get some red and green down at the bottom. So I just punch out a few more. Since I have 3 daughters, all 3 of them did this countdown to Christmas, so I have plenty of extra wrappers, so I will not run out. I will for sure have 25. I actually have 75, so no worries there. So I had a few extra that I could punch stars out of. So there, we'll put those down at the bottom. And that was about it. It came together fairly quickly. So this is day 5. Goes right in the book. Put it a little bit off center so the flip doesn't hang over the side. But there it is. Thanks for watching.